What I've got now is a suggested timeline, 4 weeks to countdown right through to implementation. So I've just got some dot points there which you can read through. Think now, just as you read through the 4 dot points listed out there, how this might work in your own school. Schools are really dynamic and also sensitive environments as well. Pardon me. So we need to identify our key stakeholders. I hate that word stakeholders, but anyway, you know what I mean. So the school canteen, management, keeping the lines of communication open. And what I love about the Lunchbox Blitz program is that there's template newsletters, so getting that communication out there to our parents, to other colleagues in our schools, to even our community, to post maybe newsletters out to local greengroceries. And because bringing local greengrocers into the school, there might even be opportunities for donations to the school as well. So there are links to the local shopping environment, so that everyone is in on the big picture of what we're trying to achieve in this project. Identify collaborative teacher teams as well. So as individual teachers, we're not standalone, that there are opportunities, and we work collaboratively a lot anyway. But just think about your own teacher teams and see, well, do we have a teacher who's really good with logistics and organisation and can keep everyone on time? Do you have a member of the teacher team who's really good at the big picture and the creative ideas and can see the links with other key learning areas, your language teachers, perhaps your physical education teachers, your specialist teachers, and get them on board so that you can marry in with other key learning areas which also might help to underpin the project. So I can't emphasise the importance of communication in the 4 weeks to countdown. That's probably the important thing. Keeping everyone in the loop, briefing curriculum teams. There's scope with, I'm not sure of the learning platforms that you have in your school. We have something called MConnect, which actually provides a lot of digital learning where we can facilitate teaching teams. So think about the scope and the digital resources and the personal resources that you have in your schools, and identify and invite teacher teams to participate, deliver and assess Lunchbox Blitz programs. Perhaps you might decide to undertake the project individually or perhaps team teaching. I love the idea of team teaching. In my own school I have a colleague, another home economics teacher. She has a very different style of approach of teaching, but yet we complement each other very well, I think. And so if I can say to you, think about now the type of personnel you have in your schools, not just in your own teaching classroom teaching teams, but also your specialist areas as well. 3 weeks to countdown. Have a look at your lesson plans, review the Lunchbox Blitz, really try and identify what activities you think might be good to include. Think about your resources. This includes maybe preparation, lamination of the resources, the display of posters. How are you going to whet the students' appetite? Start engaging the students. Start sending out the newsletters to your parents. Or once again, in your teaching teams, you might have one of your teaching members who's really good at writing and making contact with writing newsletters and really looking at that. So think about how you're going to continue that conversation, checking in with each other, checking in with your local personnel, your parents' community. Keep maybe a newsletter ticking on every week so that parents also are in the loop. As I said here, identifying, inviting external key personnel, arranging off-site visits of the teacher team to check out the local resources, farmers markets, supermarkets, putting in excursion forms, checking with your own principal and senior management team in regards to the doability and the scoping of the project so that we get everyone on board. Informing parents, even sending out invite letters. You might find that maybe parents are busy, but grandparents are really active. So getting them on board with maybe inviting them into the school and working as your informal teacher assistants, or sharing food ideas. Maybe you've got grandparents or even parents or families who are willing to share their food stories. Perhaps summer is a great idea, a great season when people are growing their fruits and vegetables. Lots of stone fruit, tomatoes are coming into season. So hooking into those ideas of inviting your families in, grandparents in particular, because they perhaps are less time restricted and time constrained compared with your parents. Those of you who are out there in the regional and remote areas of Victoria can perhaps link in with local farmers as well. 2 weeks to countdown. Keep referring back to your Lunchbox Splits lessons. Select the activities, the core and extended. Maybe you even might want to even pilot one of the lessons. So maybe even testing out a couple of the activities just to see which activities work. Create a personalised and realistic lesson time plan. You might actually have a time plan for the team so that you can dovetail within and between each other, so that you might have individual teachers working on a time plan for the actual implementation of the program, and also including your specialist teachers. Touch base regularly. This is really important, keeping everyone communicating in the loop, whether it's by a group email or a staff email or your regular staff meetings, and just keeping everyone updated with the scope of the activity. Budget requirements. Many schools, of course, are beholden to budgetary constraints. Ask for help. See what opportunities are available for supply of fruits and vegetables, supply of photocopying, all of those sorts of things. So anything that requires a dollar sign in front of it, just checking out the scope in regards to food, photocopying, time, of course, even budgeting time. Those constraints also need to be factored in to your consideration. Continue promotion, arrange media coverage. This in fact might you might need to perhaps start thinking about 4 weeks, depending on the lead up time with the local community. Of course, Carly and Nicole with the support group there could perhaps maybe link in with the advertising there as well. And also those of you who do have iPads and access to digital technology, maybe the lead up time is teaching the students how to actually use those iMovies, for example. So rather than wait on the week, just maybe have a test run through those resources. 1 week to countdown. Display posters. Check out the Lunchbox Splits resources. Keep engaging the students, whetting their appetites with what they can expect next week. So start the conversation if you haven't already done so. So prepare the students about the Lunchbox Splits project. Perhaps it requires a little bit of a head start with organising a lunchbox, all of those sort of considerations. This of course can be communicated via the newsletter. Once again, keep checking in with the teacher team, key personnel. So for example, if you're arranging parents to come in, or local shops supplying the food that you make for the lunchbox projects, for those of you who are delivering upper primary school lessons, this is a good opportunity to let your canteen manager know so that they don't order so much food that particular day when you decide to have a picnic. So as a simple courtesy, just let your canteen manager know that they might not need to prepare as many sandwiches on that day. Also let your curriculum manager know what's going on, so that they can expect maybe a little bit of a stretchy time. All comes down to communication. Check required food equipment, food shopping lists, food safety requirements, and I've put the link there for Do Food Safely. Once again, I've tried to adhere to government resources simply because they're accessible, and the longevity of the URL usually holds good as well. Keep all parents informed, particularly those who are self-nominated, about being involved, keeping actively involved, keeping them all scoped. Could also be grandparents as well, and local members interested in engaging with the project. So this is the week. So purchasing food if required. You might be lucky enough and have some of that food supplied by local sponsorship of food by your local greengrocers. Send home an information parent newsletter. See the Lunchbox Splits resources there. I think that's a fabulous idea, but certainly you would perhaps even have a launch of the Lunchbox Splits project. If you have a school community meeting, a whole school meeting, you might have the opportunity to have a big Lunchbox Splits project. Continue to brief staff at the weekly meeting, the canteen manager, booking venues. Check and run through the lesson beforehand to make sure that the lesson goes seamlessly. The day before, make sure that you're on target. Check the lesson timeline, Lunchbox resources, seating arrangements. You might decide to have a think about how you might deliver, whether you have an open plan classroom, maybe opening up the screen doors if you decide to do a team teaching project, because I think that really lends itself to have a team teaching team on this project. I think it's a really fun way of actually, having that opportunity to have that big picture incorporation of lots of collaborative teams. Okay, the big day is over. What happens next? This is the post-delivery, the what went well, the evaluation, what could be improved for next time. So I think it's really important to have that conversation and have some sort of objective scope there. I think we actually have an evaluation which we're going to talk about later, so more about that later on in our program. Follow-up assessment linked with the Ausvals and learning outcomes, teacher reflections encompassed in the Lunchbox Splits lesson plan. Really important, I think, to have that evaluation so that we can follow up and improve for next time, and to ensure the sustainability and ongoing worth of the project. Assessment, you can see there, primary school teachers love rubrics. This is a great way to develop objective criteria to help evaluate the student learning and the effectiveness of the lesson outcomes. So this is it, but please just bear in mind that these assessment ideas are in addition to the 1 hour lesson plan.